Hi guys, and welcome to my top 10 tips for using the next generation trading platform. Well, one of the first ideas there is to actually set up multiple layouts. You can see there you've got up to 5 different layouts saved, and I suggest having different screens with multiple products across different time frames and have some slightly different trading tools, because literally there's so much functionality on the next generation trading platform you can't fit it all on one screen, especially if you've got a small laptop screen. So you notice here on my main default screen I've got 8 of my favorite charts. I've got insights, Reuters news, economic calendar, a couple of my favorite watch lists, and the chart forum. But if I jump onto, say, my layout 2, you'll notice a slightly different configuration. And on the screen here, what you'll see is I've got charts of a slightly different time frame. So these are 10-minute line charts. I've got a whole bunch of my client sentiment data on here. I've just got a slightly different configuration of some of my other favorite items. If I say jump onto my layout 4, you'll notice a different configuration altogether. And from here, you'll notice here that I've got a real big focus on client sentiment, which is one of my favorite trading tools in the whole platform, but I'm going to come back to that in a little second. Let me just jump back there to my layout 1, and I can jump on to my second hint on the next generation trading platform. Okay, so from here, one of my next favorite updates there is to talk a little bit more about the custom Reuters news feeds. Now you notice up here along the top of the platform you've got a whole series of options. Don't forget about these even if you've actually gone and created your own layouts, because there's useful functionality on here but that you might not be completely aware of. If I just go to Reuters News for a second, you'll notice this is just an aggregate feed of all the Reuters news stories, which is pretty good stuff. But if you click here, you can actually map it to whatever watch list you want. You notice, for example, I've got one on here which is favorite equities, and that's going to load up news stories related to products within my fave equities watch list. And you can do so for every single watch list that you have. Very, very useful feature, and it's something that I hope you guys get a chance to look at on a regular basis. The next thing there is to check insights. Now, insights can be accessed by going to Market Pulse and selecting insights like so. And as you can see there, I usually always have it as part of my main layout. Insights is news coming directly from our global market analyst team. There's updates from myself, our guys over in Canada, over in Australia, and obviously over here in the UK. Also, a lot of our chief analysts all produce content on here. There's market updates, market insight, breakout levels. There's details on our webinars, live events, videos. Whenever we update the chart forum, because a lot of our market analysts, including myself, put chart trade setups on here that you can go ahead and have a look at. I'll be covering the chart forum in a little second. But basically, insights is almost like having your own personal sales trader. We're always trying to point you in the right direction and give you all the support that you need. So do get a chance to check that. For many traders, this will actually pop up automatically on the platform. Do get a chance to look at it, but as a recommendation of mine that you actually make it part of your layout where possible, so you can keep up to date with the news that's moving the markets. We try and remove a lot of the market noise and just kind of show you the main kind of big stuff on there. It's also worth noting, if you go to Market Pulse as well, you've got this area called CMC TV. What CMC TV does is brings you to our CMC TV playlist. Within here, we do daily videos covering everything from the recent support and resistance levels to what's kind of moving the markets, like analysis and commentary pieces. There's interviews with our sales trading team. There's kind of one-on-one sessions with our main market analysts. Just really giving you everything that you need to know for your day or for your week. And we try and give you a heads up as to all the major economic data as well. So do get a chance to check out CMC TV for all the latest market news on there. It's also quite useful to utilize, that's another one of my little hints on there, to utilize some of the watch list as a market scanner. You notice there I've got UK shares scanner on there. This is actually about 500 different shares on here. If I left click these little arrows here, it will actually sort the products by the best and worst performers. So I can see these ones here, these are the best performers for the day. I click it back, these are the worst performers in the day. And obviously these are all updating in real time. If I just go to my product library for a quick second, and I'm just going to pop this out right here. You can see here that I've actually gone, if I just reset that for a second, in fact, if I go back to say shares and just show you how I got my UK equities, go to UK, and then you also can do it directly from the watch list as well. If you've got American shares turned on or any of the other foreign markets on there, you can also do exactly the same. You can do it with indices, you can do it with FX, commodities, whatever you want. So utilize a product library and your watch list as market scanners as well. It can be a very, very useful tool to utilize. The next thing to really think about is the economic calendar should be a major part of your trading day. For example, I can see already today that most of the data has come out, but if I fast forward on to tomorrow, anything that's got a red impact level is pretty much massively important in the market, especially if it's if it's European, German, American or UK or whatever. You can see there you've got a forecast, gives you the previous. If I click there, it will set a little alert, give me a countdown clock to when that's going to come out, give me the forecast, all the details. If you don't know what, for example, the consumer confidence index is, you can always just left click there on the little information icon, and what that does is gives you a full breakdown of what it measures, why traders care, the frequency, and everything else that you need. I always look at this data for today, and I always cycle forward to the following day to see if there's anything worth coming. As I said, the orange stuff's okay, but it's pretty much just the red data impact stuff that I always look at. I usually always set my alert. Anything that's got a forecast attached to it, I'll always be having a little look at. And it is a real key part of my trading day, so don't forget that. It's also worth going to edit here. I remove the low impact stuff, so that's another little tip for you, and I just get rid of the countries that I'm not currently interested in. So obviously, depending on your region, that's going to have a big impact on what's important to you. But France, Italy, New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland. Unfortunately, guys, I've also removed Australia and Canada because it's not that important for me. But obviously, if you're in those regions, that would be different, and that will actually restrict the number of results that you get and only allow you to see the top-notch stuff. Obviously, a lot of clients might just have the high-impact stuff on there, but just for completeness sake, and because obviously we do a lot of commentary here, I tend to have the medium-impact stuff on there as well. The next thing is to try and create a chart default. You'll notice here if I just make this chart that little bit bigger, it's possible for you to have a lot of different options on here. For example, I'm just going to change that to be a slightly black color. I'm going to remove some of these technical indicators and change my moving average to, say, a 50 period moving average on there, and click confirm. If I wanted to make that the same for all my other charts, all I'd have to do is simply click on options and set as default. Okay, that would mean that every subsequent chart that I open up from either my account window, the product library, or a quote panel would open up with a specific configuration. If I make this go full screen for a second, you'll realize you've got a number of different presets that you can go ahead and select. Now, I've already gone ahead and saved a few on here, but I've got my default set up like this, or I could go to this specific setup. It really depends on what you want to have as a trader, but I do find that having multiple different presets saved allows you to jump between different chart types and sometimes different intervals with different indicators. You can also have different settings if that's what's important to you. It's entirely up to yourself. But whenever you go ahead and say you've got another chart kind of template that you want to save, you can just go to your preset manager. Anything with a floppy disk attached to it, that will actually allow you to save this current chart configuration as a new kind of chart template. So I do tend to switch between my my default here, which has got this configuration, and I've got a 10-minute line chart that I like to look at from time to time if I just want to break down and look at the the trend for the day. And because I've actually got my my grid line shading here turned on, which is very, very nice to use. It's another one of my extra tips on there. I can see quite clearly day to day the chart performance and how it's performed versus the other days. So very, very important that you guys get a chance to have a look at that. One of the next tips that I'm going to have on there for you, if you go to trading tools and utilize the pattern recognition scanner, very important tool. Once you've got it, it's very easy to utilize. You give it a little name on there, select the formations that you want to scan for. Guys, personally, I tend to focus a lot on the wedge, channel, and triangle formation. I like to look at currencies, indices, and commodities, but select whatever you want. Select all intervals and select that, and then click subscribe. And well, actually, that's exactly the same as what I've had for my previous one. Then click on emerging and completed patterns. I tend just to look at the completed patterns, but this is a real nice tool to utilize. Basically, you've got the product name, if it's bullish or bearish, the number of stars gives you a bit of an idea about how many other technical indicators match up to the direction of the trend. This is the real live points change from the breakout price to where the current market price is right now. And the real important thing is any chart opened from within the pattern recognition module will actually have technical analysis automatically drawn on there. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can maybe see that clearly on there, but there is a price projection box on there. I can see this a 5-star descending bullish wedge formation, and you notice there's a little dotted line in the middle here and another little dotted line right there. What that's telling you is that's a low success, a medium success, or a high success in regards to its performance. And why that's important is we've also added a really cool feature in there which actually will allow you to go ahead and check to see how often that pattern has come up before and how often that has been successful. In this particular instance, it looks at the last 100 instances that on commodities, you've got crude oil wedge in the 50-minute interval. 36% of the time it breaks the high part of the price projection box, 16% medium, and then you've got 29% in the low, and less than 1 in 5 fail. And what fail means is that it goes all the way along to the side of this price projection box without touching the grey box. So pattern recognition, there's actually a separate video that explains that in a lot more detail, but it's a really nifty tool. And one thing that you can do as well, if I just jump back onto my US 30 for a second and go back to my default, is there's also manual pattern recognition available. If I just go down to patterns and then select triangle, for example, it will add pattern recognition that will automatically generate over the chart action like so. And if I change that to a different time frame, if I say for example jump into 5 minutes, it will automatically update and will add these triangle formations directly onto the price action like so. Very useful tool, and you can have up to three different technical patterns added on at the same time. Very useful. And you can also add different candle formations. If I just jump back onto the daily interval there for a second, if I select something like a doji, you can see these light blue lines on here. It will identify automatically on the charts all these doji formations for you as well. So any keen candle or pattern recognition guys out there, you've got the automatic pattern recognition scanner, but you've also got the ability to do manual pattern recognition as well. So do get a chance to have a look at that. The next step is to utilize our chart forum service. Absolutely essential, I think, for traders out there. You notice there, if you click on any drop down menu, you will have the ability to launch the chart forum service separately. And what that is it's a way for CMC analysts and for other CMC clients to post analysis on the platform. And we tend to try and update this about 3 or 4 times a day. There are a select number of clients as well that also post analysis on here. Do get a chance to have a look at it. From here, you've got the ability to look at the individual chart forum data, or from the chart forum aggregate feed, which is this bit here on the right hand side. I always make this part of my default layout. If you go to Market Pulse, then select chart forum, it will just add it like so. And the real cool thing about this is you've got the product name, you've got the analyst, the real-time percentage performance. You can launch order tickets from here. You can see the interval. If I click view chart analysis right here, what that's going to do is it's going to open up a chart for me, and it's going to have technical analysis. Obviously I'm opening up my own update here, but it's going to open up technical analysis. It's going to have a synopsis on there already, and this is actually live technical analysis. Okay, this isn't just a screenshot, this is actually on your chart right now. And as you can see, you've got 2 options down the bottom: remove this analysis or keep this analysis. Then you've got a little synopsis, and you can add your own comment. If you want to go ahead and post your own analysis on the US 30, it's really easy. Just click post and go ahead and follow the instructions. If I keep this analysis, as you can see, that's all been added on there live. You know, I can go ahead and make that full screen now. If I want to, I can change this and move this around. It's a really cool tool, and it's something if you feel confident about adding technical analysis and you want to share it with the rest of the community, by all means feel free to add it. Any product within the platform, you can just left click and go chart forum, and it's very easy to then go ahead and see what other analysis people have done. But then if you want to post your own, just click post, capture your chart, enter in any details that you want there, and then click post, and it's as easy as that. But I will obviously ask that you guys, if you're going to do a chart forum update, try and make sure you got some nice analysis there to share. Put a little bit of a synopsis to make it easier for other traders to consume, and yeah, it's a nice feature to have on there. So one of the next things to look at is going ahead and setting a whole bunch of user preferences. Now obviously you don't necessarily have to do this kind of right away, but what it allows you to do is to turn your pre-order confirmations on or off, enable boundaries, which are useful if you want to control slippage, how you want your stop loss triggering set. But the main reasons why you look at a lot of the kind of user preference settings is to set your default risk management, to set stuff like your stop loss, your limit order default settings, and a whole bunch of other data. And what's really cool from here is you can either set things universally across all products. You can also go ahead and set it by a specific asset type, or if you use your left click button on here and then select order settings, what that will do is allow you to set custom settings for a particular product, which is very cool if you've got some of your favorite things that you like to do, but you want it to be really quick. You want to have your stop loss already filled out, you want to have your take profit already filled out, and even your default ticket quantity. So if you normally do £10 a point trading the FTSE, every single time you open up the order ticket for the FTSE, it could potentially have all the details down there for you. And you might also notice that on the order settings section, you've got these information buttons. So if there's anything you're not sure about, and we tooltip lots of parts of the platform, just to make it easier for you to explore around and really get a good flavor about how this stuff works and how you utilize it. You can set all your order preference details here, and for those of you that are utilizing the CFD platform, it will also allow you to manage all of your market data elements here. And if you've ever got a query, any platform issues that you're calling up about, it sometimes can be useful to go to this platform information page, take a screenshot of that, or our agents here might ask you to send some of this data there to them to help identify what your problem may be if you've got any. The last kind of trading tip is to go and utilize the trader support section. Very, very important here. The trader development area has got a whole bunch of guided tours about how you use every aspect of the platform, so please do get a chance to have a look at that. Obviously we're covering a lot of information very quickly today, but this will allow you to look at things a little bit more in depth. We've also got an on-demand education section, which is a whole bunch of strategy things, so everything about support, resistance, trends, patterns, stop-loss strategies, everything else like that. And if you want a written guide that you can print out and have a look at your own time, we've also got our Trading IQ modules right here. So by left-clicking in here, we'll go ahead and launch that for you. If you jump onto support, you've got the ability to see our live trading events right here. So if you like webinars, or you want to come along to any of our seminars, or you want to see any of our kind of download written documents, there's a whole bunch of stuff here you can print out and read at your own leisure. We've got on-demand webinars, you can watch them live right now, or you can sign up to time ones and ask questions. The Active Trader Network's very, very popular in London. Michael in the Markets is a regular Monday session. This non-farm payroll session, usually the first Friday of every month, absolutely essential. So do get a chance to go ahead and have a look at that. You can obviously access our CMC Markets YouTube page. All our content goes in here. So there's trailers, there's videos, there's a whole bunch of analysis that can be very useful. All the CMC TV stuff is on here. You guys should definitely get a chance to have a look at that. If you want to learn about trading strategies, stop loss, technical indicators, trading plans, 5 common mistakes, this section here is particularly useful. All the platform tour stuff's on here. And whenever we do a platform upgrade, we usually tend to do like webinars, and we post them on here. So if you want to see what all the new features are and what upgrades we've done, this is a great section to go ahead and have a look at. And just to finish you up, if you want to have live help, if you don't want to pick up the telephone, you just want to have an instant chat with somebody, you can just select live help and type in your query right there. One of our agents will be online right away to sort that out. And if you've got any feedback on the platform at all, for example, charting, I like this, blah, 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 or needs improvement, you can go ahead and enter in whatever detail you want there and then click submit. And that actually comes back to myself and my fellow co-head Ryan Doherty, and we do look at the feedback regularly. You might guess we're very passionate about our trading platform, and we want to help you guys get the most from it. So if you've got feedback, constructive feedback, or any things that you like, please do send them on. We do get a chance to look at that on a regular basis. Well, anyway, guys, I wanted to keep this quite short, so thank you very much for listening. I hope you found this top 10 hints for the next generation platform very, very useful, and very good luck with your trading.